Hey guys, Sublord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Spawn's Universe Deluxe Clown with, well, for lack of a better term, weapons of mass destruction. This, of course, is brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys and is one of the earliest offerings from the Spawn's Universe line. One I didn't actually get around to picking up, but thankfully Amazon had it on clearance, so I forwarded it to my aunt in Florida, who was nice enough to get it for me for this past Christmas season. So shout out to her. You guys are familiar with her if you've been watching my channel for a while now. She's got me several things that I've reviewed here, between McFarlane stuff like Spawn stuff or the Mortal Kombat stuff, and even a couple of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, big chunky monster dudes. So she has definitely helped the channel a great deal as far as content goes. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, eagle-eye viewers of the channel will know that a couple of years ago, if I move him over, we looked at this guy right here. This is the Bloody Clown variant, courtesy of my good buddy El Tenda, who is still cranking out videos almost on a daily basis like your boy here. But one of the earliest trades I did with him, he got me this guy from his local GameStop. So both clowns, center them here, but both clowns from the Spawn line I didn't pay for. I don't know if that says something about me, but let's face it, if you saw my review of the Violator from this line, you know that I much prefer that giant, gorgeous, hideous honka-chonka plastic over this guy. But that's not the point. The point is the GameStop one has some blood on it, the regular one doesn't. The regular one also comes with some different weapons, so why don't we take a look-see at those. He, of course, comes with a razor blade and a kniff. That's always fun, isn't it? And then he, of course, comes with alternate hands. He's got a fist and a open hand there. Wanted to swap the hands out. I almost think that this is a little easier to use with the gun pack handle, which, why don't we take a look at that quick, because it is different from the Bloody variant. Let me try to grab the right one here. It's a little bit closer to the vintage toy because it's got this blade thing sticking off it. But I will tell you, this one feels a little bit, it's not flimsy, it's just loose compared to the other one. This one has a lot more give in the joints. It's not as tight in certain areas. It's just not as, I don't know, solid from a QC standpoint as the other one. Does it bother me? Not particularly, because I don't use these things anyways because they're freaking massive and take up a crap ton of real estate. So these will be going in a bag, in a box, I'm sure. But for those of you who don't know, the Bloody variant came with these big honka-chonka burning plastic, like Gatling gun things. It's not even a bullet belt sticking out of it. So I guess if you wanted to, you could swap parts, but I will tell you, do that at your own risk, because you will maybe potentially loosen up the joints here and here in the guns. Like this one, the guns don't really rotate or click into place at all. Well, that one does. Never mind. I'm a liar. No, they just work better now, I suppose. But at any rate, you know, be wary of that. You could loosen stuff up if you do that. I think the missile packs are the same. Yeah, they're the same. The same on both of them. But you could loosen up the joints on that, because I tried to do that with this guy's gun pack. He had a loose, kind of floppy joint that had a lot of weight on it, and I tried to pop it out and swap it with one that was a little tighter, and I couldn't get it out on one end, so I put it back together, and I'm not 100% sure it's as tight as it used to be. That said, it should also be worth noting that instead of a razor blade and a kniff, the Bloody one comes with a freaking Warhammer chainsaw sword. So there you go. That is your comparison with the Bloody variants. I like the Bloody variant. I almost think I like it more. I don't know. Clown's a pretty grotesque character, and to have the little bit of extra paint apps is nice, but it is nice to have a standard clown. I will tell you, the articulation on this guy is the same as the other one. He does have a hockey puck display stand, though you might not need it. I don't know. That may vary between how loose your joints are. The hips still appear to be kind of loose on this guy. I don't know if they're as loose as the other one. Check. I guess they're a little better. They're a little better. They do have one tiny notch in there, but not by a lot. Definitely not by a country mile or anything. He's got the bullet belts on his chest. I wish those would stay down, but whatever. But as far as his articulation goes, his head is on a double ball peg, maybe? Not just a single, but you do get a decent amount of range. You can look down a bit. You can look up. You can tilt side to side. His shoulders will go out. Back down, they will rotate forward and back. He does have a swivel in the elbow with a hinge. And then he's got the same thing in the wrist. It will hinge and rotate there. It's got the ugly joint in the arm, but whatever. I tend to not even use it, so it's not that big a deal to me. It also feels like his shoulders are a little tighter than the other one. Yeah, I'm gonna check that too while I'm at it here. Hold on. How are yours? No, that one's not terrible. No, I think the other one's got about the same. Alright, we're done comparing the two clowns now. I promise, as far as his torso goes, it does rotate a little bit. It does kind of click into place. It doesn't really tilt back and forth. His pants come down. That's kind of gross. It doesn't really pivot back and forth. There's no clearance for that. I say as I check the other one. The other one gets a tiny bit. It feels like, whereas this one doesn't get much of anything, but 100% sure on that. It does kind of feel like it should shift forward, but it doesn't want to. It does shift back a little bit, so there's that, I guess. Again, the hips move forward and back. He does have in and out. I think he's got a little thigh swivel in there on both sides. You don't really need it because he's got the swivel in the knee with a hinge that's tight as balls. Okay. See if I can get one of them to bend a little better than the other. Yeah, that's pretty tight. So he does have a hinge in the knee, and he does have hinge in the foot with a rocker, a little bit of a rocker, and a toe joint, which is not terrible on either side. So, you know, it's fair for a little short, pudgy guy like the clown, as far as articulation goes. So, you know, you gotta give it up for him. He's trying his best, being a short, portly fellow here. But, proof is in the pudding. His articulation is kind of meh, but that should be expected from a character like this. That's just the nature of the beast, or nature of the clown in this instance. I will say, I think the other one has better hips, as far as in and out goes, but not his knees. No, his knees are still tight as balls, too. So, yeah, he's definitely a toit figure in some places. Some. Not all, but some. So, before we wrap this sucker up, why don't we just bring in our two regulars. Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulith. Right there. Well, Horsemen haven't given us like a court jester yet. I wonder if that's going to happen. I say that because we're talking about clowns. Then we also have the infamous 11 Spawn, everyone's go-to Spawn, I'm sure. Whether you're in the comics or not. It's a really good Spawn to have. And I think the clown looks good with this Spawn. Up here so you can see his head. And there you go. Spawn is taller than the clown. Makes sense. Even though the clown looks pretty big, he's mostly just thick and girthy and wide and, well, fat as hail. So, with that being said, it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and if you like the Bloody Clown I reviewed on the channel a couple years back, you're going to like this figure. If you didn't like that one, you might not like this figure. If you're trying to choose which one to get, I think it comes down to personal preference. If you prefer the guns and no blood, then this is the one for you. It's probably also the cheaper one to get because the other one was an exclusive, and I'm not sure what the secondary market value is on that one. But this one is usually fluctuating between 25 to 30 bucks on good old Amazon. So if you want to get a clown and you're not into the blood and guts, this is the one for you. If you want the blood and guts, well, good luck, because again, I don't know what that one goes for anymore. And it was an exclusive. That said, I don't think it was an exclusive that sold particularly well, but you never know. It's been a while. It's been a while, to say the very least. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.